Today we're going to talk about fasting. Yesterday I saw the prompt, you guys, on the fact that I want to talk about this subject. Gentlemen, I have started fasting for the last week. Now, listen, this isn't new to me. I have been intermittent fasting, I don't know, probably for the last 5-6 years, off and on. More off than actually on, I have to confess. But lately I've been starting to accumulate a little bit too much belly fat, too much visceral fat, right? It's not out there, but I can feel it pressing on my organs. That's the definition of visceral fat. It surrounds the organs. And I don't like this feeling because even though I'm training, even though I'm working out, I'm eating too damn much, man. Ever since I started YouTubing, my life is literally walking from upstairs, downstairs, recording my videos, going back upstairs, taking a little break. The kitchen is right next to me. I'll go pick on some food and then might take a nap, little 25-minute nap, and then I'll get up again, start working on the computer, sitting, editing, sitting, more computer, and then I will take the calls from you guys, more sitting. Guess what? I've sat most of the day or lay down, but always eating something, always picking. The food is so convenient because I'm right there in the house. And so this takes its toll. The reality of it is you cannot outwork the food that you consume. But I don't want to get too far into the diet, guys. I want to basically show you all, we live in a society that creates so much amazing junk food. And what I mean by amazing is that the food is designed to get us hooked. And we all know this. We can't eat one cookie. We're going to eat freaking half the box of cookies. And our brain and our society is programmed to make us think that that's okay. Not realizing that eating a half a box of cookies, 20 cookies, it's literally more calories or more sugar than you would need to eat for 5-6 days. And this is where the problem come in. So I wanted to control my appetite. Controlling that urge to eat is why I started looking at fasting again. And this gentleman here, he explains it very well. Because you guys are familiar with Ozempic. Well, here's what fasting does to you, which would actually replace Ozempic and would actually be free versus paying a lot of money for it. Anyway, let's get into it.
Ozempic is the American name. And these are all in a class called GLP-1s. They essentially really reduce the appetite, which goes to show you that, and people lose weight, like a lot of weight.
Weight loss injections like Ozempic and Mounjaro promise shockingly big results with a small needle. But what if the ancient practice of fasting is not only safer, but more effective?
If you want to lose weight because it's important, then you can just set aside a period of time that you don't eat. Let your body eat your body fat. That's what fasting is doing for you. And it's totally natural because that's what it's there for. That body fat is not there for looks. It's there for you as a source, as a store of calories. So fasting just lets you use that.
World's #1 weight loss expert, Dr. Jason Fung, puts modern medicine head-to-head with our metabolic biology to find out which actually works better. And why the answer will probably shock you.
Even in the academic centers, they all think about sort of calories, how to get calories down, how to reduce calories. And I always say, well, it's not about the calories, right? It's about fixing the hormones that are behind the calories.
This isn't just another health debate. We're comparing the most hyped modern drug with the most ancient healing practice. One costs thousands. The other is free. One is prescription only. The other, you can start today. The big promises of fat loss drugs. GLP-1 agonists like Ozempic promise dramatic fat loss.
The lesson it's teaching you about weight loss is that it's not about controlling the calories, because the Ozempic doesn't burn any calories. It's about controlling your hunger.
And that is it. I can tell you, gentlemen, ladies, I did my fast for 30 hours. All I did was consume water. Made sure I sprinkled salt in it so that I didn't get my headaches. After my 30 hours of fasting, seriously, my friends, my cravings to eat, especially the cookies and ice cream, etc., just disappeared. Just absolutely disappeared. I do not snack. I don't care to snack anymore. Just a week earlier, just a week earlier, not even a week, just a few days earlier before I started this, the urge to freaking grab that cookie or to grab some ice cream or to grab some bread with peanut butter and jelly was so overwhelming. I couldn't freaking avoid it. I just needed it. After the fast, that 3-day fast, all the urges are gone. The same thing that Ozempic does to you, my fast did to me. So now I am practicing 24-hour fasts once per week. That's what I'm going to do. And during that time, I have cut out 80% of carbohydrates from my diet. 80% of my diet is serious proteins. I eat a shitload of eggs, beef, chicken, tuna, salmon, broccoli, spinach, a lot of water, no sugar whatsoever, none. I have stevia for sweetening. I drink black coffee twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. That's it. That's my diet. And I literally eat breakfast and I eat dinner. Breakfast, usually around 8 o'clock. My dinner around 5, and that's it. My weight training, my boxing, or my walk, I do that before I consume any food so that I know whatever calories that I'm burning is burning from the fat on my body, not the food that I had the day prior. Because the food that I ate prior while I was sleeping was being digested. So I don't really have any sugar in the bloodstream. I'm pulling directly from the fat stores. So all I want you guys to do is to practice the same thing. And listen, this isn't medical advice, so please consult your doctor first. I don't want you guys coming back at me saying, oh, I had this because you recommended this. Please don't do that to me. Consult your doctor. Because this isn't medical advice. I'm only telling you that this is what I'm doing. And I'm telling you, 2 weeks results is freaking amazing. You should see how much my stomach has gone down. And listen, it's not just fat. I know that. It's just the intestines have healed itself. I don't have that bloated old man stomach anymore. 2 weeks. I'm going to do a reveal after 90 days on this. I'm not going to show you my body right now. I'll show you 90 days. Okay? I got some pride, man. Come on.
It's about that one level deeper. Why are you taking so many calories? So if you simply reduce the hunger, you're going to naturally eat fewer calories, which is going to cause weight loss. And that's what this Ozempic does. It really reduces your appetite to very low levels.
Users report less hunger, smaller portions, and massive sudden weight drops. Even Elon Musk credits them. But is appetite suppression enough for real, lasting change? The old but gold power of fasting isn't a fad. It's hardwired into our biology.
Fasting actually activates the body, for example, is very interesting because I think it's like if you're a caveman, for example, or a cavewoman, and it's winter and there's nothing to eat. If your body starts to shut down, then evolutionarily, you're going to die, right? Because you have less energy, you can't go out and hunt. So our body's just not that stupid. So what it does is says, okay, well, I'm going to give you more energy. So I'm going to activate the body, but then I'm going to change where you're getting your energy from. You're not going to get the energy from the food. You're going to get it from your body fat stores, which is your stored food.
Dr. Jason Fung brought it back into the spotlight, not just as a tradition, but as a metabolic weapon. Fasting doesn't suppress appetite. It resets it. How they actually work. Fat loss drugs send signals to your brain to eat less.
That's what this Ozempic does. It really reduces your appetite to very low levels.
How?
It's this hormone called GLP-1, which is a natural sort of hormone. It's released mostly in the intestines, in the distal intestine and the small intestine. And in response to certain foods, it goes up, right? So when you eat, the body has a homeostatic mechanism. So again, remember, people think that we're just eating machines. We eat until, we explode sort of thing. But that's not true. When you eat, you actually activate the GLP-1 along with other hormones. There's multiple hormonal systems. The GLP-1 is the one we're interested in. You activate GLP-1, which then sets into motion the instructions for you to stop eating, right? So the act of eating sort of sets in motion that whole feedback loop to stop, right? So this is homeostasis, which is trying to keep things at a proper level.
They mimic a hormone, GLP-1, that tells your body, I'm full. Fasting? It triggers your natural fat-burning mode. Insulin drops. Growth hormone rises. Bonus insight. Why the calories model fails. For decades, we've been told to eat less, move more. But what if that advice is outdated or even harmful?
So we see this in almost every single study. We've known about it for like 80 years at least. You eat fewer calories, your body burns fewer calories. Well, that's going to limit how much weight you're going to lose, right? So this idea that just eat fewer calories will automatically lead to weight loss is completely false, because we know that eating fewer calories leads also to burning fewer calories. So you eat 500 less, your body burns 500 less, and you're not losing any body weight.
Listen, I have lost weight and I've gotten in shape from the 500 less per day diet. It works. So I wouldn't dismiss it. But there is one fundamental thing that he calls out very clearly here, is that the 500 less calories doesn't solve the major issue. I still felt hungry because my insulin is also being spiked because I was not reducing the amount of sugar calories, the amount of simple carbs in my diet.
I'm Alexandra. I have lost 125 pounds by not listening to people who told me to eat in a calorie deficit. Let me explain. I am a medical student, and my medical school held a conference on obesity about 2 years ago, where the leading scientists in the world were all gathered to talk about what obesity is and what causes obesity. Now, when I then left this conference, I became obsessed naturally, and I went and I took a deep dive into movement, into nutrition, and into hormones that govern obesity. And the most important thing that I found out, obesity is caused by insulin resistance. This is why drugs like Wegovy, Manjaro, semaglutide, Ozempic, this is why they are so effective, because they essentially reverse insulin resistance. So how do we naturally reverse insulin resistance? We don't do it by eating in a calorific deficit. We do it by eating foods that don't cause our insulin to spike, and we do it by moving.
Because a lot of trainers will tell you, well, don't have to worry about carbs as much as long as you keep that 500 calories below your natural requirement. But the problem is, it's still the sugar and the addictive foods that we're still eating does not curb your cravings. And that's why a lot of overweight people still feel hungry, especially because they are so used to that spike in insulin and they feel hungry when they've reduced their calories. But what the fasting does, it activates the same sort of hormone that Ozempic is, and it stops you from feeling hungry, which basically means if I don't feel hungry, I don't think of food, then I won't eat. That's the key, and that's what I'm trying to wake you guys up to. But there's so many other benefits to fasting. That's what we're going to point out here, the benefits of fasting, because that's what kicked me immediately into a great position to actually start burning body fat. So I've been at it for 2 weeks now. I've dropped 3 pounds, which is actually a healthy way to actually lose weight, right? Usually I prefer to lose 1 pound per week, which is reducing my calorie intake around 500 calories per day. 5 times 7, 500 times 7 is 3,500, which equates to 1 pound of fat. Remember that. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. Always just stick that into your memory. Always look to reduce your calories about 500 calories per day. But if you're fasting for 2 days, or if you fast for a day and your caloric intake is around 1,500 to 2,000 calories, so within 2 days, you could literally burn 1 pound of fat. Not water, fat. Because the body will use the fat that is stored on you as energy source. So I want you guys to listen to this gentleman here who explains intermittent fasting. And then we're going to listen to another gentleman about the benefits of fasting, period, so that I can wake up your consciousness to what's happening to the body.
1 day per week, I want you to eat 1 meal that day. And this is also known as a 24-hour fast. So basically the concept is this. Let's say you had dinner on Saturday. You would just drink water, coffee, and green tea until dinner on Sunday. That would be your 1 meal on Sunday. But it doesn't have to be Sunday. It could literally be any day of the week. And there are so many benefits to this powerful practice. The physical benefits of fasting are so clear. During a 24-hour fast, you're improving your insulin sensitivity because you're not eating constantly, elevating your blood sugar. So your body becomes more sensitive to insulin, which is great for both fat loss and muscle building. Your body also gets into this really powerful catabolic metabolism where it's breaking down old cells, old proteins called autophagy. And basically it's like a cellular detox process. This only really happens on a deep level when you're fasting. And the cool thing is doing this once per week, you're getting this benefit in a pretty profound way. The third thing is your human growth hormone levels naturally rise. This is good for anti-aging benefits. It's good for muscle building, for fat loss. This fasting really stimulates that in a very powerful way. You don't need to do anything but just not eat. And then on the mental side, I think it's really cool because as you begin to do this more, you're going to find that you'll feel very mentally clear during these fasts. Because what happens is when we are fasting, our brain actually increases some neurochemicals and neurohormones that make us more alert and focused. So we feel very great and we feel very productive. And also, you don't have to worry about eating. On this particular day, you're still going to have dinner later on, but you don't have to worry about during the day. So you can be very productive. We have many of our fit fathers and fit mothers who do this 24-hour fast ritual sometime during the week when they have a lot of meetings or busy work. They really want to crank on something. It's a great practice. I personally often do it on the weekend, like on a Sunday, because I think there's also some spiritual benefits to just like relaxing, decompressing, like noticing that I do feel a little hungry, but exerting my willpower and saying like, no, I made a conscious choice not to eat food until this time. I know I'm getting physical benefits. I know I'm getting mental benefits. And as I strengthen my willpower and do something that I know is good for me, and also like just analyze the fact that, oh, I am feeling this craving and something like this, but I'm still choosing something different. For me personally, I believe that's some spiritual power.
This is the beautiful part about it. We have to understand that our bodies are amazing freaking mechanisms. But on a daily basis, especially in the West, we are destroying our bodies, man. This idea that we have to eat 3 times a day, that was never designed for people who sit most of their days. That was designed for farmers, people who were doing hard freaking labor all day out on the farm. From sunrise to sunset. It's not designed for today's modern society. That's our greatest problem. The second greatest problem is the amount of food Westerners, especially Americans, have been conditioned to eat. This idea of large portions is freaking insane.
The fucking Americans are getting up to some absolute shenanigans at the LA County Fair. The food is some of the most disgusting footage I've ever witnessed. Well done, America. You should be fucking proud. What other nation could possibly bring us the triple donut cheeseburger? I love how not only is it a donut burger, it has 3 fucking burgers in it. They were going to go with 2, but they didn't want to be cunts starving people. And the Americans need the energy, so they can walk over and buy a cereal burger. Pickle lemonade. Nobody asked. America delivered. But there were also healthy options. Oh, fuck. No, never mind. I want to thank America. Actually, just wait 1 second. I want to thank America for showing us what's possible. We're fat cunts, but what we're doing is child's play. Every day, you show us what we could be. Follow me. I'm delicious.
They just opened a, what was the name? Was it a Chipotle or one of these restaurants over here, American fast food restaurants, and they make burritos. And my wife and I were invited to the grand opening, the soft opening, so that the staff would practice. And we got the standard burrito, and the thing was seriously about this size. And I said, wow, is that the normal size? And the woman said, yes, sir, this is normal. I'm like, wow, this thing lasted me 2 meals. 2 meals. I ate some one day, put it in the fridge, ate the other half the other day. 2 meals. I cannot understand why Americans are conditioned to eat that much food. The amount of pressure that you're putting on your digestive system is insane. So stop eating so much. You don't need to eat 3 meals a day. Now, I like how this gentleman breaks down what happens to food and why the diet works so great, okay?
Fasting can be used with any diet. Remember that fasting is any period of time that you're not eating. Therefore, it really doesn't tell you anything about what you eat when you decide to eat. It only concerns itself with the amount of time that you don't eat. So whether you follow a vegetarian diet or a carnivore diet or a low carb or a high carb or a low fat or a high fat, it doesn't really matter because you can still add fasting.
It sounds simple, right? Because it is. The absence of food on a day doesn't care about what you eat. The point is you stop eating. This is the entire plan. Stop eating so the body can repair itself. That's all you need to think about. So many people in the black community suffer from what they call sugar in the Caribbean. But in America and the Western world, diabetes. The number one problem in the black community, diabetes, insulin resistance. And all you have to do to cure yourself of this is to fast. Now listen, don't just take my advice on it. Consult your doctor on this, because I don't want you to blame me if something goes wrong. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy that's staying healthy. And I'm always teaching from example, because I do this shit. I've been intermittent fasting for so many years. I don't gain weight. I'm about to hit 60. I've never been overweight. And it's not just the exercise. I'm telling you, it's the diet. Your calorie restriction is what's keeping you healthy. Eating less is what keeps us healthy, not eating more. Eating more is killing us in the Western world. But we have glorified so many freaking obese people and coddle their so-called disease and this whole acceptance, especially in the black community. We're killing ourselves. Big booties, big back, all of these nice terms to glorify obesity. It's a joke. Big back girl. I like my big back girls, my big batty girls. Bullshit.
Construction of this scale is dedicated to all of the women whose lives have been ruined and ruled by it. This is for us, ladies. Safety first. Oops. I'm tired of you stealing my life. I'm tired of you making me feel if I'm good or bad. I'm tired of you deciding how my day is. No more of you deciding my life. No more of you stealing life from me. This is it. I take back my life. I'm in control. I decide if I'm good or bad. Not you. I deserve a great life.
We're killing each other. I'm here to tell you, stop it. Stop. Not only exercise, but learn to diet. Learn to stop eating so much. Stop eating 2 to 3 times a day and start fasting. First of all, we're going to start thinking about a 16-hour fast and an 18-hour fast, 24-hour fast. If you think of these numbers, some people like to do 12 hours. I just don't think that's enough. But let's hear what the experts have to say, okay?
If you think about it this way, you can break the day into 2 parts. The part where you're feeding, that's when you're eating and your body is going to store energy, which is calories. And then there's a part where you're supposed to fast. And that's why they have this word breakfast, break fast. It's the meal that breaks your fast. It's supposed to be in balance. Whereas feeding, you're going to be storing calories, while you're fasting, you're going to be using those stored calories. The body stores calories in 2 ways. It can store it as sugar, and it can store it as body fat. If you have too much sugar, you might have type 2 diabetes. If you have too much body fat, then you have obesity. So therefore, if you want to take care of those diseases naturally and without medications, then simply allow your body to burn off that energy, because that's all it is. That's all body fat is. That's all that blood sugar is. It's a store of energy.
And people just don't realize it's that simple. Fat is technically all energy. It's your gas tank. It blows my mind when I hear a fat person say, I'm hungry. What? There is no way a fat person can say that they're hungry. They are literally sitting on a massive storage tank of energy. They just haven't tapped into it. And the only way that they can allow their brain and body to connect into that fat storage is to fast. Stop consuming sugar, because the body eats sugar first for energy. If that sugar isn't consumed or absorbed, I'm trying to use simple terms, that sugar has to be consumed first. That's the immediate source. That's your bread, your cookies, your ice cream, your sodas, all of that simple sugar, you burn that off immediately. And you never get to touch the fat storage. But if you eliminate those sugars out of your diet, the body has no choice but to tap into the reserves. But you have to allow the body to do that. But the problem is we keep consuming the 1, 2, 3 meals a day, plus all the snacks in between. It does not allow the body to tap into the fat stores. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to learn.
Advantage number 2, flexibility. While you're fasting, the most important thing is that you are always in control. You are deciding not to eat. It's not that somebody is forcing you. It's not that food isn't available. It is available, but you're choosing not to eat it. And therefore, you can change it whenever you want. You can do it some days and not some days. You can decide to do more this month and less next month. If you're going on vacation, for example, you might not do it at all. And then afterwards, you may do more to catch up. And that's okay because you're always in control. Advantage number 3, it's free. The advantage of fasting is that it's completely free. You don't have to pay any money. In fact, you're going to save money because you don't have to buy the groceries. You're in fact trying to feed yourself off of your own body fat because your body has stored all this energy in those fat cells. And as it stores the energy, it's going to let you burn it off and you're not going to have to pay for it.
And that's why doctors don't like you. That's why supermarkets won't like you. That's why restaurants won't like you. Because all of a sudden, you don't have to spend any money on any pills, health products. You just use the fat that's on your body. The benefits are amazing, my friends.
Advantage number 4. It's simple and convenient. It's very easy to explain to somebody how to fast. You simply don't eat. There's no complicated rules. It's not like you have to figure out how many carbohydrates are in your box of cookies, or you don't have to see if it's keto, you don't have to see if it's gluten-free or vegetarian or whatever. You simply don't eat. It's also going to save you so much time because you're not going to have to worry about what's for the next meal. You're not going to have to worry about getting to your next meal. You're not going to have to buy the groceries. You're not going to have to cook it. You're not going to have to spend the time eating it. And you're not going to have to spend the time cleaning up. And because of that, it's going to simplify your life as well as your diet. And the number 5 advantage, and probably the most important advantage of fasting, is that it's powerful and it works. Think about it this way. When you don't eat, you're going to take in 0 calories. But your body still needs energy. It needs that food energy to get the heart going, for the lungs, for the brain, and all that. So it's going to have to burn those stores of energy, which is either from glucose or from body fat. So you can't get lower than 0 calories, so it is the most powerful diet that is currently available. Anything else you do simply cannot beat it.
All right, he makes it sound simple, doesn't he? But it's true. The beautiful thing about fasting is that the longer you do it, the more comfortable you feel with it. So now I want you guys to understand the benefits of it. This is the most important part because I think this will inspire you guys to move into doing it. Knowing how to do it is simple. Just don't eat. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Now, what are the benefits? Because I think this is what keeps me motivated. One thing about life, and especially as you get older, you start to think about, I don't want to be that old, decrepit guy. I don't want to be broken and old. I want to age gracefully and healthy. That can be done, my friends. Yes, both are 75 years old. If you don't make time for exercise, you should probably make time for illness. And this is the thing about life, man. The former president, Mr. Joe Biden, just been diagnosed with prostate cancer that has now entered into his bones. One of the massive benefits of fasting is to destroy the dead cells that sit that could become cancerous in your body. All right? Now, King Charles also been diagnosed with a cancer. But what I'm trying to show you is don't care how much money you have, don't care how powerful you are? The only thing that you're going to worry about when you have money, power, wealth, it doesn't matter, is your health. That's it. Once your health goes, nothing else matters. At that point, when you're in your deathbed, struggling to get rid of the pain and the suffering, you will trade the power, you will trade every cent that you have made to get rid of that pain and suffering, just to get your health back. I assure you of that. But all you have to do is to take care of your body. The problem with a lot of us is that we don't take care of our body until it breaks. This is a 71-year-old at a 12.89 100-meter dash, Thomas Jones.
Division, he is in 5, David Ponder in 6, David Ortman in 7, Jack Capenstein in 8, and Glenn Allen in 9. Michael Kish going to have a challenge here on his inside. Here comes Thomas Jones of Maryland Masters. Look at this. 12.90 wind legal.
That's right, gentlemen. How many of you have done a full sprint lately? I can tell you I haven't in a while. This has been motivating me. I've been trying to get my muscles ready again just to be able to sprint. I used to be an excellent sprinter in high school. But then, what do we get? We get this. She can't even sit down. Her upper body is top heavy. Love what this woman said here.
Do you know why I'm pushing myself at 63? Because I've seen what giving up looks like, and I'm sure you have too. And I'm not interested. We have a choice. We can decay or grow. Comfort is killing us, one skip workout and one ready meal at a time. If you think you can't, you won't. But if you believe you can, you'll surprise yourself. So it's sweat or regret. If you're waiting for a signal for the right time to start, this is it.
Yes. Either sweat or regret. But too many people in the black community look like this. And this is how your body acts. When you are put in a position where you make the slightest mistake, which could be detrimental to your life, this is what happens right here.
I don't know what the bass players look like.
Excuse me, what happened? I have no clue.
Well, that was actually a nice tuck and roll.
Yes, it was. But how did that even occur?
Well, I know.
This is when your balance is off. Stomach is big, nothing on the body functioning well. One misstep, he can't get his knees back under him. Could have dropped, break that hip. You'd be in trouble for the rest of your life, my friends. But unfortunately, this is what we glorify. That fat booty, big back look like as it starts to age. Everything just starts to drop. Right here. Yeah, those titties are going to be down by her hips in another 3 or 4 years. And those two thighs are just going to be like freaking jello. It's just going to be, because this is what most of our women look like. And that's what every 50-year-old man should look like. Looks better than his son. But this is the excuse most of us will give the doctor. And society just gives them a pass. Doctor, no.
Since I'm holding a lot of fluid, I can't hardly pee.
Really?
I mean, I don't know what, I mean, you.
What do you mean you don't know? And you think that you're not eating and you're getting
I don't want to get malnourished either.
Do you look like you're malnourished?
Do you look like you're malnourished? Freaking 600-pound man looking at a doctor telling him he don't want to be malnourished. We have this idea in our heads that we need to be consuming on a daily basis, otherwise we're dying. Think about that. All right, let's listen to this guy go through the process of what happens to the body from 12 hours to 24 hours while fasting. I'm going to demonstrate with this quick video on what happens to the body as it goes through the fasting process. And this should motivate you right here.
What happened to your body if you fast for 36 hours? After 4 hours, your body stops digesting food, insulin drops, and it starts burning stored sugar for energy. After 8 hours, blood sugar starts to drop and your body begins using stored glycogen for energy. After 12 hours, fat burning begins. Insulin decreases and your body starts shifting into ketosis. After 16 hours, autophagy is activated. Your body starts breaking down damaged cells and toxins for recycling. After 24 hours, major cellular repair, your body is now fully in fat-burning mode, reducing inflammation and improving insulin sensitivity. After 30 hours, growth hormone spikes, preserving muscle, and accelerating fat loss. Deep healing mode begins. After 36 hours, maximum autophagy. Your body clears out dead cells, regenerates tissues, and boosts metabolism. You've just given your body a full reset.
Yes. Now, there's a lot more explanation to that, but it's pretty precise. This gave you a very quick breakdown of what happens when you're fasting. Watch it again so that you guys can be motivated to do what I'm doing. And I'm telling you, no more inflammation. I feel great, and I'm going to go through a 24-hour fast once a week. I'm going to reserve it to a Sunday. For me, it makes no difference. I just been conditioned to think that Sundays is an easier day for me, but it really isn't. Because YouTube is a 24-hour, 7 days a week business, right? But I've just chosen Sunday, every Sunday. So my last meal would be at around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. Then I won't have any food whatsoever until Sunday, the same time. And to be honest, what happened last week, I didn't feel like eating after the 24 hours. I just had some coffee and relaxed, went to bed, and then I ate the following morning. So I pushed it to 36 hours roughly. And I felt amazing, man. So my friends, listen, I didn't want it to be this long, but I just feel like I need to get the message clear to you all. Get your health together. Because I could preach about this whole relationship thing until I'm blue in the face. But if you guys aren't healthy, if you guys aren't happy with your body, if you're still suffering from all of these little ailments, you're not going to feel like going out there and conquering the world, my friends. And that's what I want to give you back. That's why I want to encourage you all. Like this video, please. Get this message out to more people so that we can actually start building each other in this community. Remember, Saturday morning, New York time, we're going to have the group session where I'm inviting you guys to come on my podcast via Zoom. So log into the membership site, and that's where you'll get the link. And just log in on Saturday morning with your cup of coffee and join the conversation. All right? If you have a YouTube channel, just change the name on your Zoom handle to your YouTube channel so that, other people can get to know who you are. I haven't come up with a subject yet, but I'll post it soon. So my friends, listen, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and until tomorrow, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.